Shalom, everybody. How are you doing? I understand that there's stuff going on in the world with this COVID-19 coronavirus, and personally, I'm not afraid of catching anything. I think that because in 2015 I prayed to eat healthier, the Father has led me to really work on myself and my immune system. And so I get free items like vitamins and things like that from my product testing company. So really, I know that I'm getting provided for, and I trust that everything is going to be fine. I know about the law of attraction. I realize how everything's working out. Everything is working out for us, and so I'm not frightened, scared, anything, etc. I'm not going out, you know, unnecessarily and interacting with other people. I'm really been an expert at social distancing my whole life. I'm happy to continue to do my work from home, which I always do. And I still am getting everything, that I used to do at this point in time, all the different gigs and things like that. So I'm glad that I was working from home originally, and that's just continuing on here. And so I've been working. I've been doing things pretty much the same way I usually do them. So there really hasn't been too much of a change for me personally. But I know that there's other stuff going on in the world, and our world is a reflection of ourselves. And so we need to be taking care of each other as we would want ourselves being taken care of. And I do believe in praying for people. And so I actually posted this up on my Facebook page for the channel. So if you want to go check that out, you can, if you haven't already liked the page on Facebook. I'll put a link below for this. And there's another one I posted too. Well, I posted a couple things recently. I gave my thoughts on this from my perspective, the Hebrew/Christian perspective and that terminology. If you want to check that out, I left that actually on the discussion page for my YouTube channel, but I don't know how many people checked that out. There were a couple of thumbs up, so I know a couple of you saw it. So that's cool. But if you want to check that out, that's there. I don't want to reiterate every single thing I said in there, although I may read this particular post. And so my main point here that I've been sharing is to not fear things. The thing I've learned since 2015 and this whole awakening process that I've been going through is that fear keeps you back from everything that you've been asking for, really. A lot of the times people are asking for something like, let's say, another high-paying job. And in order to get that high-paying job, sometimes you have to get fired from your first job, which, not necessarily what happened to me, but something similar. And I understand that there's a necessary breaking up of the stuff that's not beneficial to you in order for the stuff that you have been asking for to come in. A lot of people have been asking for debt relief or to not have to go to their jobs, to spend more time with family. These people that are asking for these things often, when thrown into a situation like this, have to come face to face with their fears and realize, there could be a family, a father, let's say, who wanted to spend more time with his family, but he feels like he has to go to work in order to do it. I know with the law of attraction that you don't have to go to a job that you hate in order to pay for your family, to keep them safe and, fed and everything. But a lot of people don't. They have these false beliefs. And so this is a shaking up of those false beliefs right now, where that father is now staying at home perhaps and taking care of the family and finding that things are working. Maybe the government will send a check. I don't know. That's been thrown out there. There's an article about how they might send a check to people. Businesses are relaxing on certain things. There's things going out there for free for people to homeschool their children. Lots of people have been asking for the ability to homeschool their children and not thinking that they can. And now they may be thrown into a situation which proves you can do it. So your preconceived ideas, these false limiting beliefs, are kind of being torn apart right now. If people will let them, some people are going to fight it, and I understand that. But there's really no point in fighting what's happening right now. the time spent on worrying and fighting is really just, it's wasteful. It's not productive. Um, what it comes down to, as I mentioned in my other post, is basically to just have faith, let go, let God, and have faith that things are working out for you. And I know that it can be hard to trust. It can be hard to let go, but I think that is what people are dealing with right now, is this need to just let go and see that things are going to work out for you without you having to struggle and fight for it to work out for you. And everybody's been asking for a lot of things. Like I said, they've been asking for debt relief. You know, I don't know what's going to happen, but the president did get rid of the interest rates on the student loans and things like that. We don't know what's coming in the future. People have been asking for, largely, have been asking for this debt relief for student loans. I'm not saying it's happening. I don't know, but there's different things out there that people have been asking for, that this is like an answer to a prayer and people are fighting it, and you need to just let go and accept it and actually praise it. And it sounds weird to some people who are afraid of this, but really this is a blessing, because everything is. So there's a quote, and if I find it later, I'll put it below. But basically, in all things that we are conquerors, everything is working out for us. There's nothing to fear. Everything is under God's control. Some people say that Satan is the god of this world, and I've already want to say debunk it, but a lot of people aren't going to believe what I have to say, so that's fine. But I've already given my reasons why I don't believe that, and all the links are in that other post that I mentioned. I'll leave links below too. But basically, everything is working out for us, and in the Bible, Satan works for God. He can't do anything to anybody else without God saying, okay. In the New Testament, it says, resist the devil and he will flee. In the Clementine Homilies 8, it says that the demons have absolutely no power over somebody if they're doing God's will. And what is God's will right now? It's to agape love one another as yourselves. If you would go forth and want toilet paper, don't go and buy every single thing of toilet paper in the store, so that when, you, another manifestation of yourself, comes into the store and they're wondering, where is the toilet paper? Why did you do that to yourself? You get what's coming to you. What you've done to others is what gets done to you. If you're kind to others, people will be kind to you. If you are in fear and stockpiling for yourself, then you will continue to be in fear and see reasons to be afraid and see reasons why you need to stockpile. And you'll see people having things that you don't, and you might be jealous or something. You get what you give in this world. There's a karma, there's a reap and you will sow law to this world. So just treat others as you would want to be treated, that agape love. And so, yeah, I guess most of my stuff is written in that other post, and I don't want to get into all of it, but basically I just don't want you guys to be fearing anything. And really this, according to the law of attraction, is something that people have manifested as an answer to their prayers. So try to see it in that way. Some people may get sick, and they may have asked to realize that their immune system is capable of handling any disease. They may want immunity to this. They may want to feel that invincibility that you can feel if you believe that your body is capable of handling any disease. They may get sick, and they may recover to prove to themselves how powerful their thoughts are. And another thing is, God led me to do my video, the healing meditation that I just posted before this one. And it was before I'd heard about Corona whatsoever. I did that and I put it out there, and I've been working on my immune system with that, healing the body, having the meditation to remind myself of how the body heals itself. And then I put that out there, and then a few days or weeks later, this thing happened. So, God knew what was coming. So I was already prepared with things that people can use, tools that people can use to improve their immune system. One of the main things is to take deep breaths and not stress, because stress, that fear flight, way of being, it keeps your immune system down because your body is storing up energy in case you need to run. And the media is promoting this fear in some ways, but it can't affect you unless you let it. Okay, you can't just say the media is the reason why I'm afraid, because it's not. There's lots of people out there who are understanding that the media is hyping a disease and that they may have the body that can take care of the disease by just relaxing and understanding that the the immunocompromised people and elderly are at most most risk. They should be the ones who are taking care of themselves in that isolation. Not complete isolation. Obviously, they need to get their items and things like that. People should be checking on their family and friends and everything that are in need of those things. What I'm saying is that there's certain people out there who this is going to affect, but for most healthy general population, healthy people, adults and children, they are not going to be as affected by this. And so they have different fears. They have the fear coming up, like, how am I going to pay for this if my job has been, canceled, just gone? It just poof, it disappeared. People are wondering, where is their money going to come from? That's a fear because they feel like they need to work in order to have the supplies that they need. But that's not the way this world works. And this is, like I said, is shifting our perspective. We have limiting beliefs that you need to work in order to have food, whereas you may have a family next door who brings food to you because they care about you and you've been kind to them. And you realize that you don't have to be the one who's bringing in it. You don't have to work like a dog in order to have food. This world has ways of providing that we forget because we've been told these things where you have to work in order to do this. You have to slave at a job you hate in order to do this. And that's just not true. And this is in some ways an answer to the prayer that people have been asking for. How am I going to be able to relax and spend time with my family and not have to work like a dog? I think things are happening that's shaking up people's beliefs. So we can come into a new world where people don't have these limiting beliefs in the same way. A lot of people are praying together, like I've got this post here. And there's a lot of people that have the time to pray where they felt like, I don't have time to meditate like I want to. Now you do, right? So there's a lot of people out there who are taking time out of their lives to do the things that they wanted to do originally, the things that are more healthy and beneficial to them than working like a slave. And so it's a good thing in those ways. People are seeing things in a new perspective. I don't know what's going to come. I'm not going to predict what's going to happen, but I do know that there is a creator. At least to me, there's a creator. I know that, and he's in charge of everything. He, she, source, whatever you want to call it, your own perspective. But there is a guiding force in this world that's taking care of everything. And so we don't have to work like a slave in order to have things provided to us. There's enough food in this world for everybody to eat. And maybe people are coming to realize that. I hope that they are. And I hope that this is helping to wake people up. One thing I did want to talk about is the fears. As I mentioned, it's not just about the disease. It's not just about how to make money. There's also the fear of the Christian truthers out there who are worried that they are going to be forced vaccinated, who are worried about things like Jade Helm and these FEMA camps and things like that used to be brought up in 2015. And I know that I went through that whole phase. I understand that. Another funny thing is I had a dream, just like with my meditation thing. Before this stuff happened, I had a dream about moving forward in life, and somebody told me you have to get vaccinated in order to go forward. And so I joked at it. I made a morbid joke about how maybe I would die from it. And, but after that in the dream, I took time and I thought, who do I trust? Do I trust this vaccine higher than a higher power, or do I trust my God higher than the vaccine? Well, I trust my God higher than a vaccine made by men. I'm not going to be afraid of what man can do. I'm going to trust that the Creator is providing for me, and no matter what, everything will work out. So I was ready to go forward and get vaccinated in my dream. It felt real at the time. And so I went, and that actually never happened, and I still moved forward. So it's often that you just have to come face to face with your fears, and once you do, you realize that the things you were afraid of aren't really something to be worried about. It never happens the way your mind calculates how you think it might happen, because your mind is always trying to calculate the worst possible case scenario, and it never ends up being that bad, even if it happens. But for the most time, it usually doesn't even happen what you're worried about. So we have to stop letting our minds go into this fear mode and just choose faith over fear. And so that's what my other post was more dedicated towards. But in this one, I'm going to read this post, and it's more about asking people to be conscious about things and pray for others. And it's a different way. I'm going to talk about Hooponopono mostly here. Some Reiki masters and practitioners are envisioning a light coming forth and shining out into the world, and that is fantastic. And I'm really thankful that there's these people out there who are doing this. That should give you hope that there's so many more people out there doing this. We have more people in the world right now, all these light workers, intentionally focusing together in a way that's probably never really been done before. Greg Braden has talked about this in the past, about how just a small group of people meditating in peace and love changed the world. There was like a bomber or something like that going to go into another country, and then they got the call, wait, don't do that, after people were praying around the same time. He's got legitimate scientific proof that when people do this, there were changes, with less murders and things like that. So just imagine, if you can, all the different people coming together and having their minds set on peace and health and wealth, the abundance of being around everything that they've got in their house and their family and friends. We're all connecting, even if it's not in person, but sometimes people are connecting more than they used to, just because they have more time, because they weren't working as much. And there's people out there who are doing a great deal of service, going forth into the medical community and to the grocery stores and everybody, all these trucks driving across country to deliver goods from Amazon and things like that. These are wonderful things that everybody is appreciating now more than ever. And I think it's fantastic. So I'm going to read this, and just imagine that so many people doing this together right now. The results could be magnificent and miraculous, and that is really where we should keep our focus on, just knowing that there's people out here doing this sort of thing and that it does work. So I'm going to read this post here. On the top of every hour for 15 minutes, there is a group of individuals doing light work, visualizing healing for everyone worldwide. Everyone has their own way of doing this, whether it be Reiki, prayer, meditation, Hooponopono, etc. Hooponopono, sorry. All of it works. It's the positive intentions that matter. So would you like to join in? You don't have to participate every single hour. People will sleep, and while they sleep, others will wake up and participate if we share this idea around the world. Prayer with 100% faith that they are answered, prayers with 100% faith that they are answered, will consist of feeling the feelings as if the healing has already taken place, feeling as if people are happy, healthy, confident, no longer frightened, and at peace. This should be a feeling of appreciating that the world is guided by a loving source or God that knows how to grant peace and relaxation to those who ask for it and can relax and trust in that love. Dr. Stanley Hugh Len healed an entire ward of mentally ill criminals with his practice of Hooponopono. I took his course last August. Basically, you can do this at any time, but I particularly do it when I see, hear, or feel something I don't want to. For instance, hearing of people being frightened. The idea of why Hooponopono works is because we attract people and situations to show us what is going on inside of us that needs to be healed. If you are seeing videos or news from people who are frightened, or it is making you frightened, then there is fear to be healed. Once you heal that, then you will see less of it. And you are also healing this in the other people, the other person or people too. This is how Dr. Hugh Len healed patients he never saw personally. We are all interconnected. Heal yourself, heal the world. So if you're interested in the practice of Hooponopono, you may recite the following as much as you feel led to. I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. The order does not matter. You can say I love you to the creator, source, or to the situation. So if you are frightened about something, worried about something happening or not happening, then say I love you to that situation, because it is showing you where you need healing. In this case, the fear is what needs to be healed. Fear is a lack of faith. Even atheists can feel fear because of a lack of faith in humanity doing what they think they should be doing. It's okay to be afraid, but accept that being afraid happens, realize it's a lack of faith, and remember all the times you have come through things before. We often are afraid of things that never come to pass, and things that did come to pass are never as bad as we worry that they are going to be. You've made it through it, whatever happened, and you'll make it through what comes also. So say I love you to your fear, to situations that make you afraid, to people that make you angry, to anything that comes your way. It's all a manifestation of God's source, etc. anyway. Say I'm sorry and forgive me if you feel led to. You can skip it if you wish, but I think of it as being sorry that I divided into fear. When we are one with God or aligned with Source, it means we see things as God's Source sees them. God or Source is not afraid because of its higher perspective. Everything is always working out for the best. So I'm sorry when I deviate and forget that everything is a blessing and working out for me. And saying forgive me reminds me of how merciful and forgiving this world is. On a side note, the world is healing itself. There are animals going free, and there's so much less smog and things like that. There's stuff happening that's actually really beneficial right now. All right, continuing on here. And say thank you for everything. We thank the things that make us crazy because it shows us where we need healing and faith. And we thank Source, God, for providing everything we need and what we have around us right now. You can boil it down to I love you, thank you, if you wish. It is flexible. But this sort of meditation or prayer that appreciates is the best there is and will raise the vibration of you, your family, and everyone you meet. So I invite you to consider partaking in this beautiful light work, even if you only do it once a day for 15 minutes. Every little bit helps. And there's a link to the Dr. Hugh Len article there. So I'll leave links below if you want to check that out. But what I'm asking for is for people to bless this situation. Oftentimes we feel pain or you get a fever, and you have to remember to be thankful for that pain or that fever because it's a sign of something's going on. A fever is a blessing because it cures yourself. Your body is raising the temperature in order to kill off the stuff that your body doesn't want in there, the stuff that's harmful to you. It's hot enough that you're withstanding it, and it's hot enough that it kills them off, but it's not hot enough to kill you. Obviously, some people get to the really, really dangerous levels, and then you would need some help. But for the most part, a slight fever is beneficial to the body. And I think of it like the lake of fire. I've mentioned that in a previous video before. And any pain that your body has, it's a sign. We're supposed to look inside ourselves. So bless the things that happen that hurt because they're signs that you need to look into something to fix it. Be thankful that the Father is there guiding you, Source, God, however you want to see it. So this appreciation and feeling in love and happy, looking for the blessings, looking for the good things, trying to share, spread cheer, not fear, is something else I've posted on Facebook. We want to spread this goodwill and cheer to people. Some people are putting up Christmas lights outside just as a sign of hope to other people, that they're not alone, that we're all in this together, even if we're not in the same room. And part of that is probably what we're being taught right now as the human race in general. So we all are connected, and there is love and peace here, and we need to focus on that. If you are afraid of something, just remember to let go, let God, and trust that there is something working out for you in this situation. The more you stress and worry about something, with the people that are focused, like Christian truthers, on, are we going to be forced to have vaccines, etc. Like, I'm just telling you to just maybe stop watching that stuff. People like that try to say, don't watch the news because they're, poisoning you with fear. And then they go and watch a bunch of truther videos that are poisoning you with fear also. Just something to consider. Try to focus on positive things. Meditate. I've got my healing meditation for the body if you want. I'll leave a link below, but it was the last video I posted on my channel. And there's things you can be doing to relax and spread love, spread cheer, not fear. Don't post a bunch of stuff that's making people afraid. The more you focus on the things that you're worried about, the more you're going to see it. And the more you focus on the things that you want to see, the more you're going to see that. I've been focusing on the love and appreciation and people praying and taking care of one another. All the companies that are, giving away free services to the children that are going to be home from school and things like that. That's just fantastic. And just focus on the fantastic things out there, and then you'll see more of them. And spend time with the people that you are around in person. And I think there's a lot of families that are going to learn how to work with each other. And if you are having difficulty in dealing with that with somebody else, Hooponopono works really well. I love it. Just, say, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. Real quick, like a mantra or something like that. And I'm not concerned with the whole idea that some people, Christian truthers, might say, you're not supposed to repeat things, whatever. At this point, I'm not afraid of, the God, creator, whatever there is, that it's not the strict rules that were placed on people back then in the Bible. I really believe was just the work of humans who thought they were doing the will of God, but they may have been not understanding things right. So our Father is one of love, mercy, and whatever helps you to get through this is a good thing. Just focus on whatever keeps you happy and trusting in faith. So two things, choose faith over fear and spread cheer, not fear. So I hope that helped. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and shalom.